Okay, so let's start with the obvious, Steve. And how is Eugene doing, and what are the odds we'll see him again this season?
I don't know. We won't see him for a while, so we're going to continue to evaluate. But yeah, it's a bad injury, and just more adversity. You can't control the injuries, Mike and he and Candido and what have you. But it's just part of the building process and the obstacles that come up during the course of a season. So obviously feel awful for him too. He's playing well and he's a big part of what we're doing. But someone else will have to step up now. We got more opportunities for other guys, and they got to be ready.
Candido Saturday, will he play with goggles?
I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine, but he was at the doctor's today. I haven't gotten a report, but I'm hopeful that he'll be good to go.
And how is Mike doing? Just the last injury question.
Yeah, I mean, he's still fighting the fight too. I mean, he's out for a while, like I told you. It still hasn't changed. He's progressing, so I don't know what that means. Way too many meetings with our trainer the last few weeks for sure.
Senior day possible for him? Is that a potential goal?
You know what? I'd love to. I would pray and hope, but I don't know.
Okay.
So much depends. He's not doing anything really. He's walking around a little bit, and we're way too far from that right now.
How is the team handling this in practice, where you're down a lot of bodies, so there's opportunity there?
Yeah, I mean, I just we talked a lot today about Luke Nathan. We talked about Aaron Smith. We talked about a lot of things. So guys got to be ready to step up. We're losing guys that have logged a lot of minutes. Mike's a 1,000-point scorer. Gene is an energy, toughness, multi-position guy. So now other guys got to be ready. And I always say from adversity comes great opportunity. And hopefully they look at it that way, and they have good practices and get after it a little bit. And the guys that are playing got to step it up too. So they got to take on more responsibility.
Steve, what have you seen from Candido as a player? Seems like he's progressed. He's comfortable hitting an outside shot.
He really has. He's been playing really well. That's why the other night when he got scratched, it really kind of set him back a little bit, because you can always count on him. He's a good defender too, and he can defend multiple positions. So he's a 5'4". I could even have him guard some threes. So we're another versatile guy not available to us the other day. So he's been very mature. He's been great in practice. He's really taken on some added responsibility since Mike's been out. He's an important guy, and especially, as you guys know, Purdue is so big. We need all the big bodies that we can, in a game like this. So Candido hopefully continue to play well for us and stay injury-free.
You mentioned Purdue. You played the hardest strength of schedule in the Big Ten up to this point. Where does Purdue rank among the teams you've faced so far?
Yeah, I mean, offensively and defensively, they're like major problems. They have 4 seniors in the starting lineup. It seems like they've been around for a long time, and they're on at 19 or 20. I'm not sure what it is. A lot of games that they've won in a row. This is as good a team as there is in the country. I've seen everybody. I've seen whether it's be on TV or who we've played. They have great, chemistry. They shoot the ball at an unbelievable level. They have 2 of the best big guys in the conference. Pose many problems, and they're very veteran. I mean, they just have been through the wars. So this is, and Matt Painter's done a really good job. They were really good last year, and I think they're really improved. And I say that, and they lost Biggie Swanigan, who was one of the best players in the league, and I think they're improved on that. So pose many problems. The rack is going to be sold out. I'm excited about that, and our players will play hard, and I'm hoping some new guys can kind of step up and do some things. And I think we have a better game plan second time around, 2 against them. Maybe some things that we have to do in this game that we didn't do the first time. So that game film really helps us, and we'll dissect that the next couple of days.
Does this sort of matchup help flush what happened out in Illinois?
You know what? No, I mean, every game in this league is just a different matchup, and we obviously didn't play well, and they played great. They shot the ball well, and to their credit, on their home court, they've played really well, and they played great against us. And I think the adversity that we hit during that game, hopefully it'll help us moving forward here. And we got to kind of figure this out with less guys on our bench to do it. So, this is part of the challenge when you're picked 14th in a great league. And that's where we're picked, and to try to get out of that position, you got to work and you got to get some breaks, and we haven't seemed to have our share of those this year. But no, that's okay. You know, that's why I'm here, and I've been through this before. And we keep plugging, we keep recruiting. I was on the road all day yesterday, and my staff, and you know, we're going to have a great film session today. Hopefully, great practice. Get some new guys into the rotation that haven't played. Hopefully, they'll respond to that.
Steve, what will you be looking for from Luke Nathan? You referenced him.
Well,
you're using him, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, everyone. You know, like everyone's on the table right now. You know, as you start coming up. You know, with your roster and who's available, and obviously they're so big, and they get big guys in foul trouble. So we got to go another guy deep, and we're losing Eugene, who's an up front kind of guy, taking up 25, 27, 8 minutes, 30 minutes some games that he's played. So you know, those guys got to be ready to play. I don't know what foul trouble's going to bring. He seems to foul out every big guy in the league. So you got to go a couple more deep into your bench, and you know. So Luke's name came up, and he works hard, and he practices that way, and he's got to be ready.
When you say everyone, I assume you don't mean Miles Johnson, right?
No, I'm not. You know, Miles has been doing great, yeah, but
how is he doing?
No, he's doing great. He's lost 23 pounds. He's doing great, but it's not that time of the year to.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, to add him to the mix. It's the guys that are on the roster, the guys that, you know, we're going to play right now.
Okay, and you're 10, 11 years at Stony Brook, you only had one major injury, right? You had one ACL tear?
You know, we had a few, but nothing like this. And you know, when you're building a program, sometimes there's just different obstacles. You never know. It's a long season. College basketball's long, and you get these weird kind of. Mike's was a weird injury, and Eugene's was weird, but bad. And you get these kind of things, and we really can't afford any injuries to any of our guys. And so got to play through it. And again, once adversity hits you, there's great opportunity too that comes from adversity. And I'm hoping, you know, some guys step up, and certainly not just those guys that I mentioned, but you know, Gio's got to play better, and Corey's got to, and D, and you know, our veteran guys too, Mamadou, and you know, those guys got to step up too a little bit to make up for the energy that Eugene brought, and Mike brought 1,000 points, you know, 1,000-point scorer. So we got to make up for some of those losses, and those guys are capable of doing that.
Okay.
So.
Thanks for
They
having
lead
us
the
up here.
nation in three-point shooting. Besides being good shooters, I mean, what makes them so effective there?
I mean, they have unbelievable two big guys that can play and are really a problem around the basket. You will see he's as big a player as probably has gone through these the rack doors.
I've never seen one that big.
Yeah, I mean, he's huge, and he makes every free throw too. So he's a big guy that makes free throws. So you got to decide like how you're going to guard him, and when you decide that, then you got to understand that they have the best shooters in the country around him. So, you know, it's certainly a challenging game, and not just for us. It's been challenging for everyone. If you look at their scores, I mean, you know, they are playing high level basketball, and again, these guys have been around. They are a veteran basketball team. So, well coached, good players at every position, good depth. Two of the biggest guys in the country around the paint that can play. So this isn't one of those things you could take away A, B, or C. They do a lot of things very well, and we have to really be on top of our game at on every possession. And they cause a lot of fouls too. So they get into your bench, and their bench is probably better than a lot of benches in the league. So with fouls, you know, generates you going into your bench a little bit deeper, and you know, their bench is good too. So pose many problems, this good Purdue team. I think is good. They're talking about Final Fours out there and those kind of things. This team has a lot of pieces. They got the great backcourt. They got the great three-point shooters. They got the post guys that can play against anybody. So when they talk that out there, they believe it, and be hard pressed to find teams that have all the weapons that they have in the country.